Hi, I'm an old guy and I do maths. And today we have an interesting problem. I'll read you the problem in case you can't read my terrible printing. Find the equation of the line that hits y equals x squared plus 7x plus 12 at x equals 4 and is a tangent to that parabola. Now, this is not written in strict mathematical language. The idea here is to get the meaning across so that we can undertake an inquiry into this question. So what we're being asked to do is we're being asked to find the equation of a line that hits a parabola at a certain point and is a tangent to that parabola. Now what that means is that the line that hits the parabola has the same gradient as the point on the parabola where it hits. So, what's this going to involve? Well, quadratics and parabolas, a bit of calculus with differentiation, and finally some linear algebra. So what I always find it useful to do is to draw my problem, and I have made some amateur sketches here, which I'll just go through now. Okay, so that's got everything on the page that I want you to see. So we've got a parabola rather, y equals x squared plus 7x plus 12, and it looks vaguely like this. It's got a couple of points of intersection with the x-axis. These are not tremendously important. These are really just for my purposes so that I could locate it on a Cartesian plane and get a rough idea of where things are. It intersects the y-axis at 12. Again, not hugely important. This is what we're talking about. This is the line that intersects this parabola, or hits this parabola, at the point x equals 4. And the coordinate of the point of intersection is 456. Now, how I get that is simply by putting 4 into this equation. So that's 4 squared plus 28, which is 4 times 7 plus 12. So that's 12 and 28, which is 40, plus 4 squared 16, which gives me 56. That's this point here. Okay, so I have drawn out my problem and I've got a very rough idea of what it is that I am looking for. Really importantly, it's told me that the gradient of this line is positive. So if I, in my working, make a mistake and somehow get a negative answer, I know from this rough diagram that I've somehow made a mistake. Right, so we've got the point of intersection. Now, the next thing that we have to do is we have to figure out the gradient of this parabola at that point, which will also be the gradient of this line. So that means that we have to differentiate this function here. So the differential of x squared is 2x. Bring the 2 down to here, subtract 1 from that, plus 7. So that is y prime, or f prime x, that equals 2x plus 7. Okay, right. So in order to find the gradient of this curve at that point, all we do is we put the value 4 into it. 4 is here. We put the x value into that, and we get 2 times 4 plus 7, which equals 15. This tangent is going to have a gradient of 15 because the point at which it hits this parabola, this point here, has a gradient of 15. And we've discovered that by differentiating this equation and putting 4 into the differential. 2 times 4 plus 7, 15. 8 plus 7, 15. Okay, so let's get to the linear element. We've got the point of intersection, we've got the gradient at that point. We're now going to indulge in some linear algebra. And this is pretty straightforward. Here we go. So, the linear element. We're looking to create an equation in the form y equals mx plus c. We know what the gradient is. And we have some values for y and x. So really all we need to do is find this. Okay, y is 56, gradient is 15, x is y. X is not y, x is 4. So 56 is equal to 15 times 4 plus c. That's the 56, that's the 15, that's the 4, and that is c. So 56 is equal to 60 15 fours plus c. So c must be negative 4. We've found everything we need. We have the gradient and we have the y-intercept. And if I were to go back to my original artwork, well, it's not perfect because I had my artist's impression of the gradient a bit wrong, but it's not impossible to imagine that it could have come down here like that somehow. But what it did do was it gave me a very clear idea of what I was looking for. So, to sum up, the equation of the line that hits the parabola y equals x squared plus 7x plus 12 at x equals 4 is y equals 15x minus 4. Thanks very much for watching. I hope this was helpful and interesting. See you next time.